Today's topic we're going to focus on is how do you find direct shippers on LinkedIn and how do you build a personal brand on LinkedIn? And let's get started. Our goal today is turning your LinkedIn profile into a shipper lead magnet and grow your LinkedIn network with the right connections. And how do you write content that's relevant to your audience and generating inbound leads and hunt for outbound leads to land direct shippers. Little breakdown for today. Some of you have been on our previous seminars. Some of you are new. So for those of you are coming back to are coming back, welcome back. For those who are new, this is we host seminars once to talk about how to line shippers, how to help people through different channels. So this is going to be today's breakdown. We'll start with the intro and we'll go into how do you build a LinkedIn profile that attract the right shippers, not the wrong audience, but the right shippers. And how do you find and network with shippers online? And how do you write interesting content that would make people actually comment on what you write and engage with you? And lastly, how can Truckpedia help you to become successful? My name is Justin. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a second generation trucker. I helped my dad grow his trucking company from 3 to 50 in a little over 3 years by working with shippers directly. Before we're joining the truck industry, I work as a ops manager at Amazon launching robotic warehouses. That's kind of where I realized, wait a minute, trucking industry is actually very archaic even for Amazon. And this was 2017, 2018 at the time and then by doing that, that led me to joining my dad's trucking company, and we founded Truckpedia to help trucking companies achieve the same success and by working with shippers. This is a story of how I the first 3 months when I joined the trucking industry, working with my dad. It was 2018. I think it was July 2018, and I didn't even know his profit margin was 7%. And he told me, hey, to find loads, there's a software called DAT. You download on your phone, and if you want the hot loads, you gotta be fast. Scroll fast and be the first one to dial in if you want it. And I was like, okay, I'm young, I'm fast. Yeah, let's do it. I got this. And after doing it for 3 months, what I realized was I didn't even know my profit margin was 7% or less. My dad never knew that himself because he never kept track. He never kept track of the finance accounting number stuff. And the second thing was the harsh truth was the hot loads he was talking about were just leftover loads the bigger companies didn't want anymore. And the hot loads, the real hot loads actually never make it to the low boards. And I was treated like a number by most of the brokers and not very respected. Can you do this rate? If not, someone else can do it. I'm going to take you off the load, right? And that's kind of when I started questioning them. Wait a minute, how do I actually find those hot loads, and how do I increase my profit margin? And don't get me wrong, I never thought brokers were evil. I just thought there had to be a balance. You cannot scale a trucking company just by working off the low boards. You got to find your own direct customers. You got to leverage brokers for your backhauls, for filler loads, but not your main loads. And that's when I start knocking on doors. And I was driving around my neighborhood going to the office. I see trucks I'm based in California. I was in Santa Fe Spring at the time. There's a lot of warehouses, and I realized, wait a minute, there's a lot of different trucks coming from all other states. And why are they picking up from my neighbors that I never even introduced myself to? So I just started knocking on doors. It was awkward. It was embarrassing. I got rejected left and right. And until probably about 20, 30 doors that I knocked on, finally someone decided to work with me, right? I landed my first shipper, which happened to be a medical equipment shipper. And working with that shipper, a few months after working with them, it made me feel like, wait a minute, shippers actually respect me because one, I help them save on their costs. Two is I communicate with them very clearly, giving them update that they want. They actually appreciated working with me directly, and by working in the medical equipment industry, it made me realize that if I niche down, my message become much more clear, and I don't have to knock on every single warehouse in Los Angeles. There's too many of them, and if I just start only knocking on medical equipment warehouses and targeting them, I can actually that's more than enough for me to keep me busy. So I started doing that and just doing that and then realized, wait a minute, knocking on doors is one channel. There's a lot of other inbound and outbound channels that we can go to find those people, such as uh, making cold calls, email marketing, going to different conferences, all those, building a website to attract shippers who are searching for trucking companies in the area to populate, right? By doing those things, we grow really fast. Within 3 years, we got to 50 trucks, and about 60% of our loads were coming from shippers directly. Still working with about 40% from brokers for backhauls, being strategic to get trucks back in time. And in the 3 years, we scaled probably about what $50 million in revenue total. And this is literally the secret. What I did is inbound marketing, outbound marketing to build a system to always attract shippers coming to my channel. And the side channel, which is that truck stop, loadmatch, drh.com, right? Those are all controlled by freight brokers. They're not evil. They're just really good business people. They're the one actually doing inbound and outbound marketing to keep their business growing, to get shippers without having an asset. So we adopted, there's no reason for us truckers to not do these things as inbound and outbound marketing, right? And it just that in our industry, everybody was got used to. We're taught by our friends, we're taught by people that we learn from. Hey, if you want loads, you work with brokers. No one ever actually really challenged that concept. We can find our own shippers too. And it doesn't matter how big we are, 3 trucks, 5 trucks, we can still find our own shippers. It is, we don't have to work with Pepsi, Walmart, Costco, right? There are plenty of shippers that ship 3 loads, 5 loads a week, a month. And if we get 10, 20 of those people, more than enough to keep us busy. And how do we get them? Well, inbound and outbound marketing. Those are the things that we talk about on those seminars, is telling people, hey, this is how you can do them. And then today, we're going to be focusing on LinkedIn marketing, right? Every month we pick one topic and we start diving into how to make it happen. And this month we're talking about LinkedIn marketing. And with that, which this is Truckpedia. Everything that we talk about right here, everything I did back in to scale the trucking company, I built that into software, which is Truckpedia. And our goal is to connect carriers to shippers through technology, right? We're shaping the future of trucking one load at a time. And we really want to build trucking as simple as booking a plane ticket, as simple as booking the Airbnb or a hotel. And a lot of people don't realize that if you want to spend more time on finding shippers, we need to, and we must automate as much of our trucking operations as possible, not just so that can make time ourselves, but also to provide better services to shippers, freight forwarders, right? Anybody that give us freight. We want to have a technology that can make their life easy and while making our life easy, so that we can focus on what finding shippers. I a lot of times when I go to conferences, I actually met some of you at DreTech yesterday. Right away, I can tell you guys are truckers. Trucking companies, truckers, we all have something in common. We're genuine people. We're very, very genuine people. We're not salesy, and we deliver results, right? I retire my trucking parents, and it will be a dream of mine to retire as many trucking parents in the industry as possible. And that's why we built Truckpedia. Sales fact. This is something truckers mostly don't know about, right? In 2007, 15, 16 years ago, it takes about 3 calls to reach a prospect. Today, it's about 11 attempts to reach our prospect. But 70% of people quit after one attempt, right? It was, oh, there's a shipper near my area. Let me try to reach them. But if we cannot reach in the first try, we give up too early, way, way too early. We can't do that, right? But remember the fact it takes about 10 attempts to reach the right person. If we can't reach them, that's not a no. It's just another try, right? 80% of sales require 5 follow-ups after the meeting, right? 66% of people give up after 1 follow-up, right? Shipper talks, oh yeah, I want to work with you. You finally reach them. They say, oh yeah, let's work together. And you follow up with them one time. They didn't get back to us. They ignore us. Maybe follow up once and twice. And then if we don't hear from them, we give up, right? People are busy. You guys are busy too. Today, there's about 30 people sign up for the seminar, but only about half the people showed up, right? Not because they're not interested, but probably because they're busy, not because they're. So that's why, don't give up too early, right? Everything in sales is in the follow-ups. Regardless what channel we go through, it's all in the follow-up. Do not give up too early. If they do not tell us no, the answer is try again, right? Number 7, each year you lose about 26% of your customers. up from 14% a few years ago. This is actually the number one reason trucking companies go out of business. Everybody probably here knows freight waves. If you look at freight waves, every week or every 2 weeks, we see them post an article about trucking company going out of business. And no one really ever dived deep into it. But if you actually dive into that, you realize that those people, two main reasons why they go to bankruptcy, right? They become bankrupt. The first reason is 80% of their business came from three customers that their grandparents set up for the company. Over time, during market like now, everybody want to go after shippers directly, and they're lowering their rate. So they lose one customer, that's okay. If you lose two customers, there's no way that they're used to the contract rate can survive with the spot rate, right? They go out of business, right? That's one of the most important reasons. If you look at why people go out of business, that's number one. That's the number one reason is losing your dedicated long-term customers, and they're not developing new customers. Everyone is at risk. And lastly, the number one reason customers buy from you isn't service selection, quality service. It's your confidence, right? When it comes to selling, why you? Why choose you over someone else? Why should I work with you? It's about your confidence, about selling yourself, selling your service, and promoting yourself to people, right? And truckers are not doing any of that. We're not promoting ourselves. I mean, we do not even know how to find those shippers to begin with, right? And brokers, this actually works really well. Is like, how can brokers, without having any asset, land a lot of shippers? It's because they're confident. It's because they know where to find those shippers and convince them on why they should work with them. We can do the same thing, just if we have those training and the resources, right? So you guys coming here today for the seminar is the first step to make that happen. And second part is we just went over intro Truckpedia, what we're talking about today. Second part is we're going to talk about is how do you build a LinkedIn profile that attracts the right shippers. We don't want to attract any shipper, every shipper. We want to attract the right shippers, right? So that comes down to define your sub niche on LinkedIn, right? We need to understand who are we targeting and why. And if we don't do that, nothing else matters, because the number one problem I see people trying to build a business on LinkedIn is they're not focused on a specific customer. And when you talk to everybody, you talk to nobody. This is kind of one of my favorite saying is the reason why now looking back, why did I get rejected by 20 to 30 shippers when the first time when I went to knock on doors in 2018 is because I was talking to everybody and I wasn't giving them a proper value proposition on why they should work with me. So people said no to me until I learned from those rejections. Hey, they're saying no to me because of those reasons. Let me change up my script. Let me change up the way how I talk, right? And then eventually it led me to figuring out that I just need to talk to medical equipment shippers, right? I don't need to talk to anybody, right? Focus on high value insurance, 250K rather than the 100K, and those are my selling point. Leverage the neighbor card. I'm your neighbor. You can reach me anytime, right? I'm a small fleet. I want to work with you, right? I can help you save on your costs and I can help you provide better service by working directly with me. Those were my value proposition and being genuine to talk to those people. So, and this is actually, I don't know, Seth. I actually just found out about his profile a couple of days ago, and I was going through his LinkedIn profile, and this is talking about why we should niche down on LinkedIn. Seth, he's a co-founder and founder and CEO of Pony Express Logistics from Arkansas, right? And okay, but is Pony Express a brokerage or is it a carrier? And then he go and then we look into the about page, 8 years experience transportation, asset-based operation. Okay, it's probably a trucking company, but what does he do? Specialize, I lose interest. If I'm reading this much and still don't know what you do, I lose interest. Doesn't matter if it's a broker, a shipper, freight forwarder, landing on this page, it asks me no value. I don't know what you do, Seth, right? But versus if you become very, very personalized, you become very detailed on what you do, then you have value. People want to work with you. So Seth is actually great because he took the steps to build his online presence. It's just that there's a few things that he can probably do better to make himself more well known to the public, target to the right people. He doesn't want me to connect to him. I add no value to him probably. What he wants is shippers. He wants shippers to connect with him. That's why he's on LinkedIn trying to build that presence. So the more specific you are here, the more likely you are to attract the right audience. And how do you do that? Well, how can Seth, anybody do that? Well, the first thing is, right, let's define our sub niche and with a simple question. What is one broad topic you know really well? Everybody here, whether you're in GH, whether you're trucking, whatever you're in, you're probably really good at, shipping. And in this example, let's use full truckload shipping, right? You're good at shipping full truckload freight and you want to help shippers. So imagine if Seth changes tagline to, right, rather than CEO or co-founder, nobody cares about that, what you do. What they care about is what you can do for them, right? Say, hey, I help shippers ship full truckload freight. I help shippers ship full truckload freight in Arkansas. If he changes that, and imagine if a shipper from Arkansas lands on the page, oh, I want to talk to Seth. He provides something very interesting and very, very specific. I immediately know within 2 seconds, would know what he does. And that's just one example. But we can be more specific than that, right? How can we even be more specific than that? Ooh, full truckload shipping. There's all kind. Well, but I'm a produce shipper. I need a oversized, flatbed RGN trailer. Do you have that? No, I don't. So I'm not the right person for you. And if I'm a drive-in trucking company and you're hauling oversized machinery, I don't even want you to talk to me because I can't help you out, right? I only want to track people and drive-in full truckload companies, right? That's what I do. Full drive-in, full truckload trucking company. Oh, right away, I know that Pony Express is a trucking company, not a vague, not sure if it's a brokerage or a trucking company, right? So just simply by providing drive-in full truckload trucking company, that puts a lot more clarity on what you do. And people land on your page, they know what you offer. We can even be more even specific, right? So this is what we can even be more specific on what we really want to target. Some people want to be, hey, I don't care about price. I want to provide value, service, charge more. Some people like, I care about volume, price. As long as I'm getting paid better than what brokers are paying me, I'm okay with it, right? So these are the kind of 4 tips I give. You can choose your sub niche when you're building your tagline. Drive in full truckload trucking companies for small to mid-sized shippers. And then your question might be, wait a minute. If I say small to mid-sized shippers, am I turning away the bigger shippers? Well, you only got 5 to 10 trucks. The bigger shippers very likely don't even want to work with you, right? They're not our target customer anyway, right? We want to target the small to mid-sized shippers. But imagine the right customer, right shipper. Ooh, I'm small. I ship 5 loads a week, 5 loads a month. Okay, so I probably should reach out to him, right? If I see this on tagline, I happen to be a small shipper, I will reach out to you because I want to work with you. Demographics. Where do you want to work for, right? Drive-in full truckload trucking for shippers in Southern California. If I want to be that specific, I only service the regional area, and I want people to know I only service this area. If you go anywhere else, I might be able to help you, but my ideal customers, my hot customers, my right customers are shippers in Southern California. Level quality, like what type of quality do you provide? White glove full truckload carrier for electronics and furniture shippers with 250K cargo insurance in California, right? If you're focused electronics and furniture, with the people you want to network on LinkedIn has about 500,000 shippers on the platform, and then you just need to focus on people in the electronics and furniture industry, right? And you specialize in California. With that many shippers, there's no way we can reach everybody. We just need 1 to 3 shippers to get our business started, get us going. So there's no reason for us to be afraid to really mark ourselves, niche ourselves to exactly what we offer. The more specific you are, the easier, the more likely it is for you to land customers. If I'm an electronic or a furniture shipper and I require high cargo insurance and I see this, I probably want to engage with you or at least follow you, or I'll give you a chance to reach out to me to see if I want to work with you, right? Like one more thing is reefer full truckload carrier for food and beverage shippers. Oh, I service, these 4 states. Put it there, right? We want to be people to know exactly what we do, and we want to be specific to this detail. And that for sure will make you stand out among everybody else, right? If we just put that for Seth over here, ooh, That would change his entire tagline. People land on page, immediately they'll know what he does. And second one, right here, Monica. I'm a huge fan of her tagline: Alaska, Guam, Hawaii, LTL, FCL, free provider. Wow. Can you be even more specific than that? Hawaii, Alaska, LTL freight services to Hawaii, Alaska. She's my go-to. I know I'm not going to reach out to her for a full truckload, and I don't need to. And probably just by doing LTL freight to Alaska and Hawaii, it's enough to keep her busy and have a sustainable business just by doing that alone, right? You can build a business on anything, but the more niche you are, the easier it is. It doesn't mean she cannot expand to other part of a country. She could, after capturing this market, she can jump into other side of a market as well, right? For example, Amazon started as a bookstore and they start selling everything now. Same process, same concept. We start with one thing, and as we keep on scaling, we can jump into the next part. For me, I captured the medical equipment market. And if I wanted to do one more, I'll probably jump into government freight, right? Jump into heavy machinery, whatever that is. I can jump into one vertical at a time. I do not need to spread myself to think, try to do, be a master of none. And how do we do that? It's like, wait a minute, how do I know who I want to target? Like, who is my ideal shipper? This exercise is designed to help you figure that part out, right? Who's my ideal shipper profile, and how do I make that happen? Well, first thing is, what kind of commodities do they own? Where we need to learn about those shippers and where do they hang out. LinkedIn is one platform where majority of shippers spend their time on, right? Where are they located? What are their interests? What commodity do they haul? How old are they, right? What gender are they? What demographic are they? What do they like to do for fun? And what challenges do they have? Like, what problems are they trying to solve? How do they currently find truckers? And do they want to work with truckers directly, or do they actually prefer to work with brokers? There's some shippers who actually prefer to work with brokers because brokers can cover all the freight for them, right? And they don't want to deal with each individual trucker. But those people are probably not our ideal shippers anyway. And what pain points do they have with the current solution? They're using brokers, they're using TQL. The pain point is TQL's carriers don't show up on time or just don't show up at all, right? Those are the pain point, and we need to understand their pain point to solve their problem. And what's their professional career goals? Like, what does success look like for them? Are they just a logistic manager trying to get promoted to a senior logistic manager and trying to be a VP of director in transportation? Is their goal to move up a ladder? If they are, us coming in as a carrier, how can we help them meet their needs? Is their goal about saving money? Because sometimes, that's company's money. So if you're working for a company as big as Walmart and you're a logistic coordinator, that's the least of your concern to save money for the company. But your goal is probably to get promoted to a logistic manager. But this person is the direct decision maker on choosing which carrier to work with. So how can we get them to get promoted from a coordinator to a manager position? Well, probably on time pickup, on time delivery, providing those services to make their job easy, right? Everyone got different motives. As an owner of a company, your motive is entirely different from your dispatchers, right? Dispatchers are, I get the job done. I dispatch the trucks, keep the trucks moving. I don't care how much money you make. But as an owner, you care about how much money you make. You care about your profit margin. So, right. So understanding that will help you kind of figure out who we are targeting when it comes to shipping, right? This is a second exercise right here. It's like, how do we find them? Right? Well, that's what they prefer. How about ourselves? Who is our dream 10 customers, right? Who are the dream 10 customers that we want to work with? What lanes do they currently offer? What's the revenue that they're doing right now to figure out, are they small to mid-size shipper or are they big shipper? If they're too big for shipper, probably they're not going to work with us. So our goal is to find smaller shipper. Who do they currently use for shipping, right? If you can map out the 10 ideal customers that you want to, your dream customer shippers that you want to work with, find it, right? And then the thing is, if you don't know who they are, go through your rate confirmation. I'm not telling you to backdoor your shippers, and I suggest you to not backdoor your shippers because you get yourself in trouble. But what we can do from this exercise is figuring out the shipper lookalikes, right? We can't back solicit shippers from our brokers, but what we can do is there's a lot of shippers look alike them, right? But listing them here, we'll figure out that, oh, I can find shippers that look like them near me in this industry to figure out how to approach them, right? So after you list that part out and then go through this for yourself, okay, my ideal lanes, I want to run within 500 miles. I want to stay in my, 50 miles within my zip code. Companies are small, maybe 10 people in their company. In the plastic industry, in the corrugated packaging industry, in the medical industry, government freight, etc. You name it. Because why? Those are actually the most common commodities I haul, right? Who is a decision maker from my company? Like find them, logistics manager, inbound clerk, director of transportation, right? Who's that role? And where do they hang out? Are they on LinkedIn? Can I find them on LinkedIn? Do they go to different conferences? Where can I find them? Right? Where do they search for shipping solutions? And I don't know who they use for shipping. Well, that's when we knock on doors, we make those cold calls, when we reach them on LinkedIn, we ask them, right, to figure out how are they finding their people. Or what do they use? Because sometimes a lot of companies say, oh, I would do contract freight. Well, that's music to my ear. I want to do contract freight. How do you do it? Is it through Excel sheet, or do they have a? Do you need an EDI? A lot of people may not even know what EDI is, so we need to know the terms that they're used to, and so we can provide service to them. What are the current pain points for them, right? And lastly, how can we find shipper lookalikes, the shippers that look like them that we can work with, right? Those are the blueprint Truckpedia we built for people to use. If you want a copy of that, we can share that with you to help you build your own uh, shipper blueprint for yourself. And next is going to build your own profile with a story. LinkedIn, a lot of times, doesn't matter if it's TV series, movies, everything that we watch, we give our attention to is because they captured our attention with a story. And with that is that you got to become brand yourself as the go-to expert. You deal with trucking all your life. You own a dredge company, you own a trucking company. You are the expert, knowing what lanes to go to, how long it takes to get there, when you need to get loaded, and how to make sure the cargo is secure, right? You're the expert at that. And we just need to let people know that. And we need to make it interesting, right? We need to make it interesting. Trucking is an unsexy industry. And we're not even going to deny about that. We are in an unsexy industry. But that doesn't mean we cannot make it interesting. We can tell a story out of it and make ourselves, brand ourselves as this is what makes us unique because we have a story behind it. And then this seminar, we'll go through the steps on how do you script a compelling story to make yourself interesting. Well, what are the things needed to make ourselves interesting? Well, number one is like we're not going to fake it, right? We don't need to create a fake person to say who we are not. We simply just need to be ourselves and using this backstory and have a strong opinion and ability to hook people in to resonate with the shippers on what we do. That's all we need to do. We don't need to make it complicated. We just need to do it 3 steps, have telling the story, have a strong opinion on why they should work with us, and an ability to hook them in with however we reach out to them, like different channels, LinkedIn, outreach, knocking on door, email, cold call. We just need to hook them in, and then with our story, with our opinion, to convince them why they should work with us, right? So again, what that means is everything. If you hero's journey, a lot of you may know about this already. Greek mythology, everything is built around the hero's journey. You must be relatable, not untouchable. We're not trying to build a brand, a persona that's not untouchable. We must be relatable. If your focus is on LTL shipping, the backstory should be about how we help shippers solve LTL shipping pain points. If you're in dredge, the story will be revolve around how do you help dredge shippers solve their dredge pain points. Every part of mode of transportation has their unique pain points, and we need to figure out what those specific pain points are and figure them out, and then tell that as a story to convince people. Dry van trucking companies have their own reefers, flatbed. They all each face their own unique pain points, and we just need to create a story revolve around that and brand ourselves as the expert to help them alleviate those pains and and to build a connection that way. For example, this is my own backstory, right? My story comes in my obstacle, right? When I write my LinkedIn profile, this is what I follow. The obstacle for me is my dad struggled as an owner operator, 3 trucks on that, never was able to make it past 5 trucks, struggling day in, day out, right? When the market is good, he buys overpriced trucks. When the market is bad, he sells his trucks at a loss, right? It's kind of like buying stocks, buy high, sell low, right? That's what he did for about a decade. And I didn't want him to do that anymore. That was my internal struggle. But I had no idea how to grow a trucking company. The external struggle is we had no tools, there's no resources online, and we had zero shippers to work with. Those were the struggles I was dealing with. What changed, right? I started knocking on doors and getting rejected. And what's the spark? First shipper finally said yes to me to working with me. What's a guide? Well, I found more shippers, and through what inbound and outbound channels by doing different things, I found more shippers. The result, I retired my dad, and now I want to help other truckers do the same because I didn't do anything special. I'm nobody special. I just follow the things the trucking industry didn't normally follow. Solve that, right? That's my story, and that resonate with a lot of truckers. Similarly, you need to craft your own story that will resonate with shippers and how you solve shippers' pain point, how we solve their problem. Like for me, I can pitch another story of medical equipment shippers back then. If I were still in trucking and trying to grow a trucking company with medical equipment shippers, I will craft an entirely different backstory on how I can help medical equipment shippers solve their own problems through this journey. And this is my current LinkedIn profile. Anybody that lands on here, they know immediately what my goal, Justin Liu, my goal is trying to what connect carriers to direct shippers. I make it very transparent, very clear to people, right? I tell people I co-founded Truckpedia and to add credibility, Forbes 30 under 30, to make people, hey, I'm trustworthy. Having a profile picture that make me look professional, right? I'm kind, I'm approachable. With a smile on my face, I'm approachable. And telling people, hey, the old way of trucking is dead. Here's a new way to land and keep shippers. I'm hooking people in. I'm hooking people in. It's like, hey, claim your free direct shipper blueprint below. I'm telling people, hey, go find it, download it, right? Any trucking company land on here, I got your attention. And that's the goal. Same thing as everybody on this call. Who our target customer is, we're trying to have the same effect because the moment you knock on doors on some people, they want to work with you. First thing they're going to do, they're going to look you up. Like everybody, stalking, right? Stalking you, looking you up. And then when they get there, we need to get their attention, right? Hey, I grew a trucking company from 1 to 20 in a little over 3 years, 3.5 years. How? Here's my story and secret. I hook you in. People are like, oh, let me read it. What's the rest of the story, right? I'm hooking people in. I'm making myself interesting. And to make people like, let me give this guy a DM. Right. If I see him enough, every time people land on here, that's one touch. It falls into those touches. The more times I touch you, the more likely you're trying to engage with me and build that credibility on. He is the expert in solving those problems for us, right? That's kind of a goal we want to establish with people is how do we establish authority? How do we help people land, achieve their goals by working with us? And lastly, right, if there's summarize what we just talked about so far, 30 minutes in, is if there's one thing you're going to do this weekend, and I want everybody to here to do this is first part is, banner image. If you're not good at it, just use Canvas, right? Canva, where there's a lot of different tools, or even using ChatGPT to help you create that clear banner image on what you do, or use Fiverr, create a banner image and get a updated clean professional headshot. If you're a driver, you don't have to dress up. Just look like a driver. We're genuine people. We don't need to fake our image what we look like. We're just a driver. We're a trucking driver. We take a picture of it. And lastly is creating that tagline. Who do you help? What do you help them do? How do you help them? Right? The steps that we talked about earlier. I'm a trucking company doing this, targeting those people. The tagline, we need to attract people's attention. And then the feature section. If you have this, say, hey, here's my company website. Here's my company website. Here's something I talk about how 5-step guide, how I choose if I want to work with a shipper or not. Different stuff like that. We want to promote it, let people know. And then rewrite your about section on why. I'm a trucking company with 15 trucks servicing Los Angeles Street area to Inland Empire, right? So very cohesive, very, very good on what we do. It's let people know, print that full picture on how we can help people achieve what they want to do. Right? If there's anything you're going to walk away with, you're going to do this part this weekend. Build that profile, make yourself stand out. It's a one-time investment, and then it will help you regardless on how you reach out to people. It will help you establish that professional credibility and people look for when you network with people. Third thing, how to find and network with shippers online. We talked about this so far, right? We talk about, hey, we're going to create a professional looking profile on LinkedIn. We're going to tell people exactly what we do, and we're going to tell people why they work with us. We have an interesting and compelling story now. Next part is how do we find and network with shippers online. Where do we find them? How do we find them? That's the number one thing truckers ask is, where the heck do I find those shippers? Where are they? Well, before we even dive into that, two mistakes, common mistake that people make, and we're going to talk about it. Do not make that mistake. And I'm going to show you how to find them and how to connect with them, but do not make these two common mistakes. Do not connect with people and sell immediately, right? The moment people accept your connection, you go, hey, I'm a trucking company. Do you need truckers? They will block you. They will not reply to you because too many people do that to them. And we're not going to do that mistake even before we go into how we look them up. Second part is, once we figure out how to talk to them, engage with them, build a relationship, let's not give them a project or a task to complete, right? Say, hey, can I pick your brain for 20 minutes? Can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? Right? We don't want to give them assignment to complete. They're going to ignore us, right? These are two common mistakes I get from people all the time, right? Connect with them. They start pitching, try to sell me something, right? I just block them immediately. We're not going to do that. And let's go into the part where how do you find shippers? First thing is, all you need to do is go on LinkedIn, and the most common title: logistic managers, logistic coordinators, inbound transportation manager, director of a transportation, warehouse manager. Those are the titles that most people have. Secondly is, where do you want to target? What region do you want to target? Okay, Los Angeles, right? You click on the all filters right here, right below the profile, all filters, choose people and select the region that you want to search for and the industry you want to be in, right? Toys, could be manufacturing, could be electronics, auto parts, furniture, whatever you name it. The moment you put it in here and put in the keywords, you see them all. There's 827 shippers in Los Angeles metropolitan area that are in the manufacturing industry who are logistic manager. I didn't put it in logistic coordinator, director of transportation. There are going to be thousands, tens of thousands of target customers we can reach out to, right? Those people are doing their job. And we need to reach out to those people and not to connect with everybody. If you have a common connection with them, great, right? Connect with them, right? That's one way of finding out those people. And who you connect with is, if they're active on LinkedIn, the more active they are, the better they are. Some people just create a profile and never react, never engage with it. This person with only 183 followers, she's probably not that active on LinkedIn. I probably to want to find someone who's really active, right? I think LinkedIn has a limit on only reach out to 20 to 50 people. I don't know exact number. If we can only reach out to connect with 20 to 30 people every day, we want to be a little specific and picky on who we can connect with. That's the first way to do it, right? Any industry you want to focus on, any commodity you haul, we can put in those keywords and put in your area and find them to connect with them. Second part is follow brokers. What are brokers doing? Brokers are all on LinkedIn prospecting for their shippers. So they're already connected with a lot of people, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to click on their profile, we're going to connect with a broker, and we're going to their network to see who they're connecting with, right? Putting the keyword shipping receiving manager, business development manager, inventory logistics specialist and shipping, right? Your global logistics supply chain leader. A lot of those people might be your target customers too, right? Based on location and to look at it, right? So those people are good to connect. If they connect with them, probably because they're doing their prospecting job with those people already, right? We're prospecting from a broker's network that we work with, right? So thinking outside the box to see where they are. If we did not find who we want from a searching criteria, we can search from our network's criteria and brokers. One more thing is connect with shippers and prospect from their network, right? Shippers have their profile too, right? This is a broker. Go to shippers profile, do the same thing, start looking at what they offer and connect with them and look into their network of people. Because if you think about it, shippers know a lot of shippers. If you look into their network, probably those people are in the same industry that they're in. So you just talk to them through that part. There's some influencers I would recommend to follow on LinkedIn that I personally follow myself. I'll send out this link with everybody who follow. Dan Driver, this guy has been owner operator for 30, 40 years, been driving truck for his entire life, works 100% with shippers. And he's pretty much documenting his daily life on LinkedIn. A lot of respect earned from shippers and brokers because he documents his daily life, how he go on bike rides what the experiences he runs into working with shippers, right? He works 100% with shippers, just owner operator himself, been driving for decades, and sharing his own experience on LinkedIn. He became an influencer, very, very popular, lots of respect from people. When you have that type of respect, even when brokers work with you, they will pay them more just because you have that influence on LinkedIn, on the network. Jason, this guy, I love this guy. This guy is a freight broker. He even make posts very transparent. I got most of my shippers from on LinkedIn. That's what he said. I got most of my shippers from LinkedIn, if not 100%. At some point, I think he mentioned 100% of his customers came from LinkedIn. He built it himself. Retired veteran, I believe, and he was homeless at some point and turned into a freight broker. Very inspirational story. Very, very great guy, keeping it real. How he grows his book of business. Ed Burns, another great guy. He has a huge network of shippers and brokers. Share tips on how to build relationship with people. Genuinely, actually want to help people. Want truckers to win. Want people to win. Right? Matt, some of you may or may not know Matt. He shares real stories on how he found shippers, the lessons he learned. Right? He's very real about how, hey, this is how I did my prospecting. This is what I run into, the problem I run into. He keeps it very real on his story, on his experiences learned, and he is gaining a lot of popularity. Timothy Dooner, some of you may know him, a host from Freight Waves. He has a lot of network with shippers and brokers as well. A lot of times it's not just about writing content, but commenting on those people's posts. When they start writing posts, LinkedIn is probably the most underrated platform for marketing. Any of those people, if they make a post and you comment on their post, immediately this person's entire network will see your comment. So if you leave thoughtful comments on theirs, you're technically building your own following as well because people are curious, right? Comment section. I'm not sure about you guys. If I'm on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, any of the social media platform, if I find a piece of content interesting, the first thing I do is I go into comment section because comments a lot of times where all the fun, real stuff happens. It's even better than the original piece of content you see. Same idea right here, right? And then LinkedIn has a lot of professional stuff. If you keep it professional, if you keep it your thoughts actually not okay, agree with this, actually put some real thought on what you really think about it, you're gonna get a lot of followers, second-hand followers from those people that are already having network of a connection. Lastly, right? Not lastly, the fourth one. How do you write engaging posts and how do you write those comments to make people resonate with not just boring content? You produce it, write it out, straight up selling for yourself that you get 5 views, 3 comments, or 0 comment, nobody comments on it. It's a waste of your time. We don't want to do that. We want to write engaging posts and comment on people's posts. What leads to is traffic and potential leads, right? It's about the consistency of doing those things over time to lend them, right? So how do you write them, right? You start writing with a hook because the attention span is not short. People say attention span is short in today's industry. It's because you didn't hook people in. If you're able to hook your readers in, they're not going to keep on scrolling. They're actually going to keep reading whatever you have. I'm sure all of you have spent time on long form content, long video, finished movies because you got hooked in. It's interesting, right? The first line is where readers commit to reading more and continue their scroll. We want to stop them with a hook. For example, if this is a hook, if I write, right, 3 lessons I learned from knocking on 20 shippers' doors. If you're a trucker, you see this, you're not going to keep on scrolling. You're going to read it. You might be like suspicious, BS, right? Oh, this is amazing. Oh, I'm learning something. Whatever your thought is, you get hooked. You would keep on reading that. 7 steps on how I grew from 3 to 50 trucks, right? 3 to 50 in 3 years, BS. Insurance company won't even allow that. But let me read the 7 steps, what they did actually, right? Let me look at it. I stole a shipper from TQL, and this is how I did it. TQL might block you, put you on do not use list if you share a story like that. But I guarantee you, if you use this as a tagline, as a first hook on the LinkedIn post, a lot of people are going to read it. Oh, you stole a shipper from TQL. This is how I did it. Okay. It's almost as if the guy, a trucker, TQL didn't pay him. He pulled his truck to TQL's headquarters and blocked the entire insurance, right? It made huge news. Everybody started looking at it. Similar story. We want to grab their attention with a hook. The better our hook it is, the more successful we'll be, right? There's a link to about 100 hook templates I found from other people, other social media users. We'll share with you guys as well, right? How you can change and convert it to your own use, to your hook, to hook people in, right? These three, I just wrote them because I knew it from writing content, from writing posts. I know what people will resonate with. I write it. And then let's go into a little deeper detail, right? This is a sample post I wrote 2 months ago. Over 100 likes, a bunch of views. What I did right here is it's every sound stream to retire their trucking dad. That alone, people, oh, every sound dream retire. I wish I have a son who can retire me. That's people's first impression. If they're a dad, they have the kids. Second part, if they're a son, their parents are in the trucking business. Ooh, I want to retire my dad too. Let me see how he did it, right? So you keep on reading about those stuff. I share my experience, talk about it, and I tell people call to action. If you're a carrier looking for shippers using technology, send me a DM, right? And leverage remote trucking hustle. Some of you may know, a lot of you probably know Trucking Hustle, probably one of the most popular YouTubers, right? I share my experience on Ramel's podcast that led to a lot of leads for Truckpedia, people learning about my story, right? So this is one post on me sharing that with more people on what I did. This is sample post number one. Sample post number two. This post got 70,000 people look at it, right? It's a lot of people. If you're running ads, that could be like easily over $1,000 in ad expenses if you want 70,000 people to look at it. 66 comments, 100, 108 reposts. When I talk about it, it's tough. That's how I hook people in. If you're looking at it, what's tough, right? If people say the first thing is it's tough, and okay, shippers don't care about you. That's true. They only care about what you can do for them. So focus on the benefits and not what you want from them, right? Makes sense. Let me keep reading. This is a pretty long post. This is a pretty long post, and you got that many people to read the entire thing. Okay, when approaching shippers, don't say, "Are you looking for trucks?" Instead, focus on solving their pain points with your unfair advantage. Ooh, unfair advantage. What is my unfair advantage? I don't even know myself as a trucker. But keep reading, right? Trucking owners often claim we have the best technology, newest trucks, most experienced drivers. Right? Shippers in their head, okay, big deal, but what's in it for me? Trucking owners, I don't know. Right? That's a problem. You're not focusing on the benefit. You're not focusing on your unfair advantage. Why? Right? The most obvious benefits are not obvious unless you list them out. Right? If you look at the web best technology, newest trucks, most experience, to me, that looks like a benefit, but that's not because never list them out, right? Hey, this is what they're stating as a fact. Fact is our fleet has 10, 20, 24 Freeliner Cascadia. But what's the benefit? What they need to focus on is the benefit is your loads will never be late because truck breakdowns, right? Very rarely a 2024 brand new Cascadia will break down. We're equipped with Samsara. So what, right? You will always know where your load is, 100% visibility, right? That's what we're trying to tell people. And the fact is, we only hire drivers with 2+ years experience. That's okay. What's in that for me? The benefit is less than 1% annual accident rate compared to 15% industry standard. We hire the most experienced drivers to reduce accident rates so your freight's never damaged. You will always know where your truck is. And our trucks are brand new. You will never be late to delivery, right? Get it? Right. But people are not interested in your new trucks or flashy technology. Your facts or attributes. The benefits are what you get from the attributes, right? The benefits are that what entice shippers to give you a chance to work with you. Unless you pour on the benefits, solve their pain points, they won't make your wallet fat, right? Stuff like that. I tell people that. And then, hey, P.S. I'm sharing company one-pager template, business cards template, sample script on how I use and the lesson learned to knock on shippers' doors. Come and send me a copy if you'd like to see it, right? By doing that, 66 people commented, send me a copy, right? I achieved my goal. I gathered my leads. Those people are all in the trucking industry that I can sell to my product to. Because why? I wrote engaging piece of content that can grab their attention. This is another one I did, right? Here's one hack to find direct freight. And this is how I found my first direct shippers. Ooh, people are going to click on see more, right? That this post, not as many as that view, right? But more comments. 97 people commented, hey, I want a copy of there. I will love to see a copy of how you did. All right, send me a copy, right? Those are all trucking people, trucking, C&D Logistics. They're all trucking companies engaging with me, wanting to see what I did to make that happen, right? Those posts, a lot of times, Again, I was probably the worst writer ever. I never liked to read or write anything before I had to do this for a living, right? So this is a template we can literally use right here, right? Everyone talks about what X. You can literally turn this into a hook with what with we talk about right here. The 100 hook template. Use that, right? And this is another hook right here, right? This is a hook. Here's one hack to find direct freight. That's a hook I hook people in, right? It's tough. Shippers don't care about you. That's a hook, right? It's every sounds you retire the trucking dad. That's a hook. I'm hooking people in. And then everyone talks about what double brokers. Nobody mentions about anything about how to find direct shippers. That's a hook. If you're, I'm only talking to trucking companies. I don't care about people who are not in trucking. You don't need to read my post. I don't care about you, right? I'm hooking my target customers, right? I ask X, what's that? Fill in the blank. I asked 30 shippers how to approach them as a carrier. Here are 3 tips I learned from them, right? Here are what, parentheses. Here's what something I learned. 1, 2, 3, right? Get it? It's not about how many shippers you reach out to. It's about your persistence on not giving up, right? So 1, 2, 3 here, I'll probably talk about something about persistence, not giving up, focusing on the benefits rather than what you can do for them, rather than the benefits you can bring to the shippers. 1, 2, 3, right? If I write this post, I guarantee you I can easily reach 10,000 trucking companies reading this post. Why? Because this is a template to me. I literally can write this in 5 minutes. Not to brag how fast I can write it, but what my point is, once you start getting the templates, once you get the point on how to structure your post, then it becomes much easier. It's like, I don't know how to write. Nobody knows how to write. But a lot of times it's like, how do I use, convey the most complex, difficult thoughts, using third grade, fifth grade words, languages to deliver them to people so they don't have to think about, right? They just see immediately, they see the benefits of reading your post, right? By doing that, right? There's different type of posts. My personal style, some people like to make it entertainment. Some people make it motivational. Some people like to be educational, right? That's falls under my categories. How do I make educational posts to hook people in to engage with me, right? This seminar here, same thing, very educational. That's my strength. I want to make educational. I'm providing value to people first, then they can work with me. Everything's the same way when we draft and write those templates. Here's another template I have, right? I help shipper A, right? You can put in the name. I help this shipper A save X amount of money in the last 3 months. Here are 3 things I did for them. Same type of step, right? I helped X save Y amount of dollars in X amount of time, right? Here are 3 things I did for them. Number one, identify 3 lanes where we can consolidate and combine into 3 stop loads. Dedicated 5 trucks to them each week. Number three, as I'm writing them, I blank out. I didn't know what to write, so I just put cross. Uh, I just put a parentheses right here. It's a win-win solution for both of us. I made 30% extra per load and a long-term customer. They save 40% because we consolidate lanes for them, right? Do you have a carrier who cares about your business? If I'm a trucking company, this is the type of post I want to write. I will connect with the shippers and I will write those content because they will populate on their newsfeed. And the more people like it, if even one shipper like it, their network will see it because of post we wrote. If I'm a shipper and look at, holy shit, you save 30% per load, I'm moving 20 loads every week, right? 30% of that's a ton of money. Okay, let's see what they did, right? And then by reading this post, they'll click on your LinkedIn profile, right? This goes back to what? If we have this LinkedIn profile right here, having the LinkedIn profile right here, ooh, more credibility added. Wow, the old way of trucking is dead. Here's a new way, right? Ooh, connect shippers to carriers. Well, this is what you can do for them. Wow, fascinating. I'm hooked. Let me talk to them, right? This is type of advertising through inbound marketing to drive leads in, right? This is a type of a post that you guys can write to bring people in and say, hey, these are what I did, 3 things I did for them, right? Even with brokers, you can talk about how you save the broker. Let's not leave brokers out of the equation. Most active logistic people on LinkedIn and social media are actually freight brokers. A lot of time, freight brokers have loads. The hot loads never make it to the board either. So let's not leave brokers entirely out of the equation because brokers need to have reliable and dedicated carriers to work with as well, right? We want the hot loads from brokers, not the shit loads that they post on that. The hot loads never make it to the board, right? See them as a partner, see them as an expensive sales team, but if they can bring good value to us, we can work with them and we Do not try to backdoor their customers either, right? We can build that relationship only with the good brokers. There are a lot of shitty brokers out there, right? We put them on our do not use list, and we're going to engage and network with who? The good brokers who actually care, right? Not everybody, just like carriers, a bunch of scam carriers scamming people too, but we're not like that, right? We don't want to associate ourselves with them. Same with brokers, right? Brokers are in it for making money, but there are actually some who actually genuinely care about you once you have that relationship with them. So do not leave brokers out of equation when you're trying to do your building your online presence, building that brand, right? Brokers see them as a partner, see them as an expensive partner. We cannot rely 100% on, but having a certain percentage of loads coming from them, it's always a filler for us. It's always safe for us when we cannot find direct shippers ourselves, right? They can definitely help us grow our business, but we cannot rely on them, right? Those posts will resonate with them as well. Change it to I helped broker A recover a last minute load at 7 p.m. last night. Here's three things I did. I called my driver to wake up, offer him $100 bonus. My driver came, drove for 2 hours to the shipper's warehouse to pick up. Shippers, shout out to shipper X, forklift driver, loaded our driver at 8 p.m. Right? If your driver has a picture, ask them snap a picture of it. Picture speaks volume, right? Snap a picture of it. It's a win-win for us, right? I got shipper the broker paid me 20%, $200 extra to thank me for my time. I give 100 to my driver. My driver is happy. Shipper is happy because we loaded their freight, got them delivered. Win-win-win for everybody. Just one post like that, one simple post like that, you're gonna get a lot of people. Whoa, I love this carrier. I want to work with them, right? Where can I find carrier like them, right? So simple stuff like that is turn them into a story and tell them in a very concise way to tell your story. People will resonate. People will click. People will say, "Oh, I want to root for you. I want you to win." Right? So it's all about storytelling. We're writing those stuff on LinkedIn and the profile funnel on LinkedIn, right? Set your profile up as a lead gen machine. Most people misunderstand the intention of your LinkedIn profile, right? Our LinkedIn profile is not our resume, right? It's not to tell people things they already know. It's not to confuse people what you do, right? We don't want to confuse people what we do. Are you a broker? Are you a trucker? What are you? Right? We don't want to confuse them. We don't want to say stuff. Don't forward. A lot of people say, what share a article from FreightWaves. Oh, this company went bankrupt, right? This X happened. They already know that. Like you don't need to broadcasting the same information they already know. Everybody's talking about no. We talk about stuff that they don't know. They didn't know that I went above and beyond for that broker at 8 p.m. last night. They didn't know that I literally, a truck broke down in the middle of nowhere and I drove myself from my yard. Let's say you're driving I've done this myself too, right? From California to Tennessee, truck broke down in Oklahoma, right? A broken clutch or a broken transmission, not a quick fix. So what do? Send another truck to really run that load to delivery. Share those stories. Those are the things that are going above and beyond for customers, right? Share about those stories that we do. Those are at reputation, make our name out there, out known. Well, whether it's brokers, whether it's shippers, we want everybody to know that stuff about the stuff that we did, right? Nobody will promote your own business but yourself. And we need to promote ourselves as the most trustworthy, reliable person. And you never know who will read your post and who will connect with you and to offer you business. And what we should do is we make it easy to understand. 2 seconds. If I land on your page in 2 seconds, I need to know what you do. I need to understand exactly what you do, who you help, right? Present yourself in a solution-oriented fashion, right? We're offering solutions. We're experts in trucking, right? I offer LTL, dredge, full truckload, dry van, reefer, heavy haul, whatever it is, right? We're offering solution in the industry that we're good at. I know nothing about heavy machinery. I know nothing about RGN trailers. I know nothing about tankers. And I do not need to talk about any of those stuff, right? Deliver free, valuable insight through your call to action. This could be your website, right? This could be your website to let people know exactly what you do. LinkedIn is a lead gen platform, lead gen tool. Your website is where it adds more credibility. Truckers, most of them don't have a website. You should absolutely invest in your website and make yourself known. Do not copy Swift, Nice Swift, those bigger companies. They all got their website wrong. They all say they have driver shortage. The call to actions for drivers. No, our call to action should always be shippers, right? About section. How do we provide details and more proof to add credibility of what we do as a trucking company, and literally this should be your LinkedIn shipper funnel, right? How does the whole thing flow? They rate your content, they rate your comments that you left on another broker or shipper's post. Very thoughtful. Or you send them a DM on LinkedIn that caught their attention. What they're going to do is they're going to go on your LinkedIn profile. Oh, the first thing they see is your banner image. Oh, the second thing they see is your tagline. And if you're interesting enough, they'd be like, oh, let me look at your website. You have one. Let me click on that to look at your website. Well, oh, website looks interesting as well. Well, let me read your about page, right? Let me read your story. If you're interesting still, you haven't lost them yet. Well, they're either going to follow or engage with you. Comment on the comment that you commented, comment on your post, like your comment, reply to your DM, right? So this is the funnel we want to follow. This is the funnel we want to follow. In order for this to work, right, for them to follow, engage with us, the order of this, we must get these right. We must get them right and make it very easy to understand, right? This is what is marketing. Building our brand, building our personal brand, making ourselves known. That's all we want to do is this part. And how can Truckpedia help you, right? What can Truckpedia do to help you? Everything we talk about is what Truckpedia has built within our tool to automate those for truckers, right? Your website, right? This is a website people built. No one, short haul bridge specialist in trucking, right? Put down your LinkedIn, drive traffic to it, right? Provide that instant quote, right? If you're in bridge company, you're working with brokers, you mark up by 10%, you're still the cheapest one. You want those your website to be seen. By the way, this website is probably built within 30 minutes to 2 hours because we have the template for people to do that. Share your templates, share your instant quote, one pager, business cards, right? Google My Business, writing blogs to drive traffic to our platform, right? Those are the stuff that Truckpedia I did for my dad to set him up for success back then. We grew a lot of customers and we just literally convert those into automated tools to help all trucking companies achieve the same thing. This part is email marketing. Truckpedia has a database of about 250,000 shippers in the area, right? Who are the people, right? We're touching remember what I mentioned earlier about take at least 10 touches before someone reply to you or engage with you, right? Email marketing is one way. LinkedIn post is another way, right? Cold calling is another way. Meeting in person. The more touches you have, the more likely they are to work with you, right? So that's what Truckpedia does. And in addition to that is what keeps trucking company busy all the time is not knowing their cost. What's my real profit and cost per mile, and not able to automate a lot of tasks. Truckpedia also offers a TMS to automate all those $5 tasks that keep you away from doing the $500 task, right? That's kind of stuff I did first is, how do I automate all those operations so I can focus on finding shippers and keeping track of your lead, writing those emails, different sequences, send it out to them, having them reply to us, right? Having the CRM to manage those tools, right? Those are what Truckpedia offers. And you may think, oh, this might be too expensive for me. We're actually very affordable for people, for anybody. If you guys are interested, I don't want to come off very salesy on a seminar where I'm teaching, but if you guys are interested, it sounds like something you're interested in doing. We have Henry in the call and we're always available. Let us know how we can help you guys, or help you guys scale, help you guys grow, find more shippers so you can start scaling and growing your business. And also we offer free business cards, one pagers, to truckers. This is entirely free. The QR code may or may not be still available, but for those who join the call, let us know. We can send you this one pager, right? When you knock on the door, you need to have a business card. You need to have a one pager, right? If you're going to one pager, say, hey, if you're doing offer LTL, the best thing to get your foot in the door is giving them a one pager that they will never toss. One example I always like to give to people, the difference between the left and right one is if you give someone's business card, and let's say a mechanic calls you, tell you, hey, I know you're always in the Los Angeles area. I'm a mobile mechanic right here. I charge, mobile mechanic. Here's my business card. He's like, oh, you're in Los Angeles, mobile mechanic. I'll take it. But calling or not calling, you may not do it. However, on the back of that business card, if this mobile mechanic tells you that, hey, I'm working at a shop, but I also want to start my own thing. I don't have a lot of customers yet, but my hourly rate is $65 per hour right now, and I can fix everything, anything, right? $65 right away is going to get your attention. Nobody charges that $65 anymore in today's market. It's at least 120, if not $150 to start with. 65 right alone gets your attention. That's why this rate part, right? It's important where we give you a sheet, right? Even if you mark up by 10%, if you're working with a lot of brokers right now, your rates are cheap. Just like how you hear a mechanic telling you 65 per hour, when you give your rate to the shippers, their ears will go up like, oh shit, never seen rates like that. Are you serious you can do it for that rate? I literally had shipper asking me, are you sure you got carriers who can do it at this rate? I'm like, yes, I do. But that's like, they're not even making money off that. Well, the spot market is paying even less than that, right? So yeah, so those are the things that, if we want people to take us seriously, we need to give them what they want, adding that immediate value. Sometimes to start a relationship, we may have to, get our foot in the door with the sales, right? With the sales on that. Like Costco gave you a $5 chicken to get everybody in, so they buy everything else, right? Maybe what we need to do is offer something really affordable to get them in, to get our foot in the door, build that relationship first, and then talk about your rates, adjusting your rates, everything, different approaches, whatever works for you. Truckpedia, again, like we said, our goal is we just want to help truckers. We want to make sure truckers are successful. Open it up to you guys for Q&A section. Anything that we talked about so far, stuff that we did not talk about, right? Any questions that you have, feel free to stay around. Let us know. We'll love to answer any questions that you guys have. If you would like to see a copy of those the slides, we'll share that with you guys later on. With Thank you guys again for joining today's call, and let's bring it back to Q&A. If anybody got questions,
Justin, I got a question for you actually,
yeah,
and when looking at your freight pricing, and going back to the sheet or the one pager, and then having the advertisement with your pricing, what's a great strategy? I mean, there's a couple of them I know that we've talked about, but can you elaborate on what is a strategy to get in front of the direct client, um, versus what is the pricing that I should be looking at, and how should I get my pricing to put on those sheets, right? There's love for you to elaborate on some of those points.
absolutely. So, when I first did my pricing sheet back then, what I did was the first thing I did was I look at, because initially all my loads were from brokers. What I did was I'd look at the top, 5 lanes I run. I mark up by 10% of whatever I was getting paid by brokers. I mark up by 10% because we all know it. This is open knowledge, where open data, where brokers' profit margins normally around 15 to 20%, right? We A lot of times shippers don't mind paying you the same freight that they tend to brokers to you. To them, it's paying whoever the same amount doesn't matter. But for me to get my foot in the door, I normally find a sweet spot to be 10%, right? Get 10% higher. If I'm getting paid $3,000 on the load from a load board, that's what I'm seeing the average spot market rate is. I will mark it up to 3,300. So I get $300 extra per load. And I will approach those people, letting them know, hey, here's just simple lane data quotes I have, right? Because oftentimes when shippers look at that number, they go, they literally go, oh shit, you sure you're charging this rate? Some of them may not say it to you, but a lot of them in deep in their head are like, this is a really affordable rate. It's a lot lower than what I'm doing. Sure, you can run this, right? So that's what I would do is, start being strategic. Don't run 48 states. One thing I would advise against every trucker is do not run 48 states. And if you have 5 trailers, 10 trucks, don't spread yourself to running dry van, reefer, flatbed, because you will never be able to land shippers that way, because you're targeting everybody. You cannot be, known for one, right? Like bring your business back to one, focus on one equipment type, become really, really good at that, and find out where those people hang out. Target them. Our message must be aligned with our customers, resonate with them to solve their problem, right? To your question, Harry, I hope that answered your question. Is about 10% higher than the spot market rate.
Yeah. I just wanted to just kind of put that out there, because I know we were talking about that, and I just want to make sure that everybody's kind of clear on how they should approach it, how they should look at it. Now, obviously, when you're talking about 10%, right, you can be more aggressive, 7, 5%. The more aggressive, maybe you'll get some of those people in a little bit quicker, right? That it'll pique their interest. When, of course, you're visiting and give them a one pager and talking about all the things that you do, right? Not only giving them a really strong price, but making it very easy to do, to work with you. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Uh,
Looks like Jeffrey B says, "Do you have a fleet and how big is it?"
I do not have a fleet now. My dad sold the company in 2021. So I know that's when I started doing Truckpedia. End of 2021, begin 2022. After he sold the trucking side, we grew it to 50 trucks, about 110, 120 trailers, drive-in trailers, about 50 trucks, and had some owner operators as well at the peak of our business. So it grew to that level. Exited out of the trucking side. I went into software in 2022, which is Truckpedia now. But if I stay in the trucking business, I would have the next part is after I did the medical equipment part, I probably would have gone after government freight because government freight is more steady, it pays more, and also I might have looked into pharmaceutical. Pharmaceutical is similar to medical, but the pay is much higher. And once you get yourself into the industry, right, you never have to worry about margin, fighting for margin stuff. So that would have been my next step is, after one vertical, tapping to the next vertical, tapping the next vertical. The approach is going to be the same: inbound, outbound marketing, attracting people, figuring out where they hang out, and keep doubling down on what works. Jeffrey B said, I only have one box truck 26. Should I wait till grow my fleet before going to direct? I mean, even with one box truck 26, I don't think it hurts. I wouldn't go out of my way to spend money to hire a salesperson or do anything. But what I would rather do is, as you're picking up and delivering freight, right now, the neighboring parts nearby, when you pass by, you see people have 26-foot box trucks in that warehouse, right in that yard. Stop by and knock on doors. Knock on
Yeah,
door.
say hi.
Yeah, say hi. It doesn't hurt. What they tell you is that, hey, I need you to have five box trucks at least before I start working with you. And you remember that. Okay, let me write it down. When I get to five trucks, I'm gonna come back to you. I'm gonna knock on your door again. So hey, remember me? You told me, 5 months ago to reach back out to you once I get to five trucks. I'm here now, right? How can we talk? Right? You say, oh yeah, well, you actually followed through with your words. Okay, so this is a process to set up with us, right? Or maybe even a lot of time the smaller people, right? Hey, if there's like, especially with box trucks, I'm assuming you got a lift gate. With that type of business, what you should probably focus on is some of the gym equipment providers, local gym equipment providers, electronics, right? Devices, large appliances, furnitures, right? Those companies might be the one that you want to talk to, or Staples, Office Depot. I've seen people with, three trucks, five trucks getting to Staples, Office Depot. I heard the marketing wasn't too great, but they were able to land dedicated freight with those companies, right? If I were you, I would immediately think about, box trucks delivery, or maybe gym equipment, appliances, right? Refrigerators, washers, dryers, right? People selling those appliances, bigger stuff that require liftgate and delivered to residential areas or even warehouses, right? For short runs. I would focus on that. Everyone just waiting for other people to ask questions. I'm sure those questions are all relevant for everyone. So don't be afraid to ask more questions.
There's no dumb question here. I
There's
mean,
no dumb question.
listen, we as a company are learning as well.
Yeah, we're
Mario,
always.
you got a question?
Hello, good morning. Thank you very much for this amazing topic. I'm sorry for my English. I talk Spanish. Well, I am a general manager of Valley Express Services. We are a carrier company located in Tijuana, Mexico, and San Diego. We are based here. We have 400 trucks doing crossbording, doing the operation to Long Beach Port, and doing over the road to the east of the United States. So we are City Padoea, and we are very interested to find more shipments from Long Beach Port to Tijuana. And there any way to team up with you? I think you have a lot of clients, I think, and we can do a lot of business working together.
Absolutely, my friend Mario, your English is great, and that's the first.
Gracias.
Second part is
Gracias.
you have the hottest business right now, cross border shipments between the U.S. and Mexico, with the nearshoring, with how Mexico
Yes.
overtaking China. You have one of
Yeah.
the hottest business that nobody knows how to even do yet. So you're in a great situation where a lot of times about it's timing, right? You guys are in a great timing with 400 trucks. Let's
Yes.
talk after this seminar to on how we can potentially work together and how to help you guys reach more people. This is one of the biggest pain point for a lot of shippers, freight forwarders, is
Yes,
finding enough trucking companies with that presence in the U.S., in Mexico, right, able to do those cross-border shipments. They don't want to swap trailers, transload. They want one company to handle it all. So you
yes,
guys have the gold mine for the next 10 years or so with the number of trucks you have. So yeah, so Brenda, Mario, I'm not sure how, if it through email marketing or if he spoke to one of our team
yes.
members.
I'm gonna send a presentation about the company, and you are right. So, for example, right now the new trolling is trending, and it's real. A lot of ASEAN people are coming to Mexico, investing in facilities. So that is reality. For example, right now we are helping Chinese companies to move their cars. For example, Chang'an, Bike, and Ceres, BYD, for example, they are sending a lot of cars to Mexico, a lot, and we have the all the logistics, uh, moving cars. Uh, uh, right now in this year, we help a Chinese company to move around 2,000 cars to Mexico City through
Amazing.
Long Beach Port. We take the maritime container to Tijuana to
Yeah.
our warehouse, and we make the transloading in a real intermodal to Mexico City, to Pantaco,
Nice.
Mexico City.
Amazing.
Yes,
Yeah,
Amazing.
BYD is all over automotive news. It's
Yeah. That's
I keep in touch with that side of the business as well,
that's
and it's definitely growing. So good
that's
on you.
yeah,
so
that's great.
yes, I will be very happy if you have any time next week to have a meeting, a very quick meeting, in order to find some opportunities of business.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, Mario. We
Thank you.
definitely should hop on a call next week. Brenda, please arrange that with Mario to
Yes.
make that happen. And then also,
Claro que
yeah, also I wanted to share with everybody here is like, don't think you're a freight trucking company. Brenda, you might mute yourself. There's echo. Thank you. Uh, don't just think that finding shippers is a one truck, three truck company having the same having problem alone. Companies with 400 trucks, 1,600 trucks, right? Thousands of trucks, they're facing the same problem that one truck, three truck guy are facing in the industry. This is why our industry is in trouble. It's literally just because no one ever shared those type of inbound, outbound marketing strategies with people on how to find shippers, how to put your name out there, how to build those digital online presence. Mario's company, 400 trucks with warehouses, available to move from Long Beach to Tijuana to Mexico, interstate, intercountry, across country, right? Hottest thing still, people are looking for him and they don't know where to find him, right? Same as you guys, three truck, five truck, 10 truck, goods, OTR, whatever you're servicing, there are shippers looking for you. They just can't find you yet, right? As you keep on scaling, keep on growing, once you get to that, if you start growing the right way now with inbound, outbound strategy in place, once you get to that 400 truck 400, 100, right? Whatever that ideal size is, you won't have that problem the company that are going out of business right now have. I guarantee you, the next time you see an article from FreightWaves talking about trucking company going out of business, dive a little bit deeper into why they went out of business. I guarantee you, right? The key reason is they lost key customers, they lost core customers, and they just cannot survive. Second part is mismanagement, right? There's no automation built in place. The founder, typically the founder, the first generation whoever's the company, they have the work ethic. Those people are the immigrants. Those are people are the hard workers, right? The ones that the blue collar people, which I call, have the work ethic to outwork everybody and anybody. They are the foundation of the company. The moment they pass the baton to a second gen and the second they pass to the third gen, those people don't have the business acumen, don't have the work ethic to keep the company running the same way that the first gen had. And that's the importance of having a solid foundation. The foundation cannot be the founder, right? It got to be a systemized tool that can be passed out And also, every single one of you who is owner of the company, I guarantee you, you're always working. Even if you take a vacation, you're working because there's no one can do the job that you do because you are the system, right? But imagine you have the process and the system in place. You don't have to. You can systemize all of those problems that people are having, and you can train your people. Always train your people to do the job so that you can always focus on the biggest thing to any trucking company is how do I find more customers? How do I keep on expanding my pipeline and keep on growing that so I never run out of business. I never run out of customers. Even if I lose one, lose two, lose three, I never put myself in a situation where all my eggs are in one basket, two or three, right? Now I got so many customers. I don't care.
Yeah.
If I lose you, not that I don't care. I want to keep as many as we can. But if I lose one, I'm not going to be in trouble financially with the company.
Yeah, the other thing too is when you're looking at marketing and marketing yourself, never stop, right? Freight changes, right? What you don't want to be is sitting on your hands. You lose a client, you have nothing in the wings, right? You're not really continuously working on that. Whether you're growing or just keeping your business stable, you constantly want to network. You constantly want to go after clients. It never should stop because, again, this is a new world. Freight's changing so quickly, right? What's hot, what was once hot is no longer hot, right? And you just need to make sure you're constantly networking. So whatever you do, don't take your foot off that pedal.
Yeah. Does anyone else got more questions from you guys? Amir, Tier 1, David, Dimitri, Barry, Vikas, 181 Transport, right? Do you guys have any question that you want? David?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I was wondering what how can I get to the contact information of the leads that I already have from the list, for example, from rate confirmations or from the Google of the companies that we shipped before or we might be able to ship. I tried already Sales Navigator. Is there any other ways that you might suggest?
So when it comes to that, there are a lot of tools out there doing it where they may or may not have it. If you have specific leads that you want to do, you can send it to us. We can help you look at it and see if our database has them or not. There's an expensive tool called ZoomInfo, which has very complete database, but it costs I think it's like $30,000 per year to access it, which the ROI on the return on your investment might be too big. Our database, we might be able to help you. If you send an email to Brenda, we might be able to look into for you some of those leads for you to see who with phone number, email, contact info, because we do have a database ourselves at Truckpedia with about 250K, right? We can look into our database, see if it's available. The database I'm talking about, we will soon make that available to the public as well, right? To the trucking industry as well. What we focus on just leads from shipping industry, from transportation industry alone. We don't care about leads from other part.
Okay, got it.
And then the next seminar will be very likely will be June 15th. In about a month, June 15th, we'll have our next seminar. The topic will be determined. Madison and Brenda will send that one out to you guys. So if you guys want to join that seminar, feel free to join that seminar in June. If you guys have more questions, we can stay on here to talk more. But it seems like there's no more question. If there's not more question, we can end the call now. And any of you guys, we have our email here. If you want to reach out to us, let us know. We can stay in touch. Thank you, Mario. Yeah, we'll talk to you next week, Mario.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, David.
I'll stay on.
Thank you.
I'll stay for a little longer. For those of you who have question, let me know. If not, right, I'll stay on here for a little longer if you guys want to talk more. But if not, I'll talk to you guys in a month. All right, seems like that's everybody. Tier 1 still remaining. If you guys have a question, let us know. If not, we'll hop off as well. And see you guys in a month.
Yeah, Antonio's joining us. He's going to be joining us on June 7th. So.
Yeah, I got an email. I got a linking message from Antonio. Very exciting. Very exciting to have him with us. So awesome. All right, but that's it. Enjoy the weekend. Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.